purpose, if you like, of what the concept's all about. So I suppose from my background with Toyota, it's helping you recognise in your environment where you're working when something is abnormal or out of place or isn't following the right process or whatever. Because if you've got an organisation that's disorganised, you can't actually tell if it's good or bad, or if it's working or not working, or where the mistakes are, or where the defects are, and that type of stuff. So 5S is there to help you understand what's abnormal in the process, or whatever's out of place.
I couldn't have said it better. In that sense, yeah. So if you ask people what's 5S, they will say, I've done 5S. You say, what's 5S? Oh, it's cleaning. It's nothing. Cleaning is one element of it. It's 0.1% of it. 5S is all about setting up your workstation and your area and the surrounding area and the system as a whole in such a way that things are logical. You can make decisions quickly without having to ask questions. You're cutting out on waste and inefficiencies and so on. Yeah. So it's all about organisation, housekeeping, maintenance, and cleaning is a subset of all that. But if I just put it as a simple explanation, right? This is how it works, right? Imagine, right, when I press this button, okay, I want you guys, you'll be greeted with a whole bunch of letters and numbers. All scrambled up, right? Do you remember this one?
No.
No, you remember, it's fresh.
I already remember the answer, so I'm not going to answer because
All right, no worries.
I don't know.
But you go through the exercise anyway, right?
Yeah.
So you're going to be greeted with a scrambled mess of letters and numbers, okay? And let's assume that is folders in a whole range of filing cabinets. Okay? So those filing cabinets, I've said to you, just go and find me that particular file. That document in that particular file. In all those filing cabinets. Okay? They're unlabelled, they're unmarked, they're just thrown in willy-nilly, right? Now, so imagine these numbers and letters are going to call up. I'm going to tell you, find me a file. In this particular case, I want you to find me the number that is missing in this particular example, right? Start from number 1 and count your way up and see yell out which number you think is missing. And I'll time you guys and see how long it's taken you. Okay? Go for it. So what number's missing there?
They didn't tell us it was numbers either, so we had
Doesn't matter.
5.
You go for it. You're struggling, yeah?
I would say 6 or 9, but I know I see
6
6
is,
now.
9's there, 6 is here.
Yeah.
Did you find 5, Janelle?
Yep.
Alright, so 5's there. You've gone up to 19, you found 19? Oh, I thought you said 19.
12.
12's there. I'll put you out of your misery, guys. It's 21, right? It's 21's the missing number. And I gave you some help. I said start at 1 and count your way up. It's a missing number. In some cases we say, guys, I want you to find the missing piece of information up there. That, you get people, what's missing up there? Is it a letter? Is it a number? Do I start at the bottom? Do I start at the top? If I start at the last number, what's the last number? Yeah. This is what happens out there in industry. Whether you're an office or a factory or whatever, you have a scrambled mess of information. Yeah. Processes that are undefined. Information and materials and tools and equipment that is poorly located, poorly resourced and so on, okay? And it becomes a mess and you become inefficient. So our office in here, if I said to you, where do I get the toner from? I don't know where the toner is because we haven't defined it, yeah? How do I find, what's something I need to find? The bloody laminating machine. Where's that? We don't know, we haven't found a home for it, yeah? So we're by default, by moving here, we're very much more inefficient. All right? This is an unsorted workplace. Yeah, this is a non-5S workplace. Right. So to make this a 5S workplace, the first step is to sort out what is not needed. That is S1. S1 is sort. Okay. So what we're going to say in this particular example. Let's assume we don't want the numbers. The numbers are just junk. It clogs up the system. We don't use the letters. We don't want the letters. We're going to take the letters out, throw them away, and we're going to be left with numbers. Okay? So we're sorting. Okay? Now, I want you to find the missing number in this case, right? So, remove the old tooling. In this case, it's letters. And only tools actually used, i.e. the numbers, will remain, okay? Now, tell me what's the missing number in this example? Exactly. 26? 26. 26 is the missing number. Okay?
I'm up to 21. So
There you go.
as far as I can.
Okay. So what we've done,
Last time I looked to 9. So
we've done S1. We've done S1. We've taken out the letters because that's just garbage. We don't need that. But you've still got a bit of a mess here anyway.
Yeah.
So what you've done is really just sorted. Yeah? That's S1. S1 sorted. S2 is, now we've got all those numbers left over, but they're a scrambled mess. Now locate the items where they are used. This is S2. S2 is set in order. Okay? So organise things. Okay? So this could be, this is an example of S2. What's the missing number?
$28.
28. Okay? 28 is a missing number. Because what happens is, you start counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 there, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, it's patterns of 5, 4. Something missing. It's starting to become logical. Yeah? Starting to become logical. So in this example, it could be everyone's in tray on their desk needs to have, when you have 5 in trays, in, out, invoices, accounts payable, whatever. Yeah?
yeah.
It could be in each filing cabinet we have to have, in each folder on our projects folder, we've got to have active projects, completed projects, timesheets, invoices, something else. Yeah. Okay. That's why we have structure with our project folders. Yeah. So if I want to go into Brad's folder and find out what's happening in his client, if these folders are set up in the same manner, okay, it's an active project, active projects. Is it a Baited client or is it an EI client? It's an EI client. Bang. The list is down there. We've got conventions. Okay, I find the file. In that folder, that client folder, I've got to have a costing, a proposal, eligibility, and a contract. It's easy for me. I don't have to follow him up. Okay? So that's S2, right? So S2, we've given it some structure, but it's still not 100%. Yeah. You can see it's not maintained properly. This numbers are upside down, this has got 4 1/4, 1 in the middle, this is, and so on. It's a bit of a jumble. So this is when we step into S3. So S3 is all about getting locations in a clean, organised and maintained environment. S3 is all about shine. It's shine, let's buff it up, let's make it sticky. Okay? So, how long does it take to find the missing item now, guys? Right? What's the missing item? 21. We're becoming so systemised and so structured that it's standing out. Yeah. So if we look at our project folders, right? If you look at my project folders, active projects, got a specific client, I've got a whole bunch of stuff in there. A lot of it's junk. If I go into Brad's folders, he'll have a similar structure, but there's still a lot of junk and different stuff that he keeps than I keep. So if I said to you, go get the latest costing out of my folders, you might see 4 different costings there. Which one's the latest one?
Yeah.
You go by date, when I last saved it. What if that was the old one and I just happened to resave it? Right? This is where we're getting into it. Okay? That's S3. Shine. S4 is all about standardising. So if you do something well in the sales area, that's something really logical. Could that be standardised in the boardroom, into the meeting area, into the administration area and so on? Let's standardise things, yeah? In this particular case, we're saying standardisation is, for example, use shadow boards. So in this case here, and you really can't see it's a bad colour, we say if there's a missing item, yeah, if we take off number 21 and it's missing, we want to see that there's a red 21 underneath that to show that it's missing from a distance, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so a lot of companies, you know what a shadow board is, guys?
Yeah.
You know, you put your tools up, then there's a shadow behind it, you take it off. A lot of companies, what they do a shadow board, but they don't put a shadow on there. So show us your shadow board, and they go, all their tools hung up, you take it off and say, what tool's missing? I don't know, it's just one great board with nails. What's the point? Yeah? That's S4. S4, which is standardise, and the last one is sustain, which sustain is all about how do you make sure what you've done is going to be sustained ongoing. So it's all about auditing, management involvement, continuous improvement, etc., etc. So what we're trying to do here, guys, is go from this state here to that state there. Okay? So in your sitting submissions area, right, these are desks that are flexible. What we don't want is guys coming in, putting a laptop, working for a couple of hours, leaving, and leaving coffee cups around, some files there, some information over here, open up the drawers, there's no staples in the stapler, there's a bloody toner cartridge in the bottom drawer. No, it's not how it is. It's a flexible desk. The standard is, this is where you put your files, and this is where when you finish, you take your files and you put your flexible inboxes and in trays in a particular area, for example. Yeah? And you standardise those bench tops, so when someone comes in, they know, I have to work in this way. Yeah? The leads are over here, the power board's there, inside the drawers there's black, red and yellow pens for assessment, whatever. That's what we have to come up with. Okay? And you do it at a very